Thank y'all so much for being here. Well, I am Mindy with the Pink Llama, and this is my affiliate spotlight segment on Miss Christina's page, the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. And we're going to do something fun tonight. These are always my favorite segments. These are always my favorites. I love doing these kits. We are going to work on the lantern kit. This is a lantern kit. It's a little lantern that you can hang ornaments on, and it comes with a little baby Jesus. We're going to be using our Pink Tour paints tonight. We're using espresso. Hello, Lethea. How are you? Or Letha. I think I said that wrong last time too, didn't I? Anyway, as I was saying, I have, had the cleaning bug that I usually get after Christmas. And it's hit me early this year, and I've been going through things. I've taken, I don't know how many carloads to the women's shelter, and it's called Hope's Closet. All of its proceeds from everything they sell. Oh, you definitely want to get this. This is beautiful. We are going to do it. We're going to do it kind of, so the vision in my head is we're going to do it kind of rusty, but not the whole thing. It's going to be rustic, and it's going to be kind of crusty. I don't know. I've got this vision in my head, and we'll see if we can play it out. First, we are going to use our Pink Tour espresso paint, and we're going to stain. I need to think this through for just a second, though. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I have a baby wipe, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start staining, and I'm going to think as I stain. So we're going to start with this little part, and this part in my head, it is going to be rusty. I'm going to stain it anyway. Just in case. Anyway, back to here I go squirreling again, y'all. I can't sit and tell a story without stopping 10 million times and telling 10 other stories in between. It's just, I said it right the first time. I did, Lethea. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, I've been cleaning things out. My craft room was the last thing that got cleaned, and it took me like 3 days to get through my craft room. And now I need to go out to my garage and finish cleaning my garage, because I set up some more shelves and stuff in there to put some of my craft room stuff out there, because I've just really honestly outgrown my space. I think I need a little she shed or something in the backyard. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. And then I've set up my Christmas. The past several weeks I've been setting my Christmas up. And my little pencil tree that I have in my dining room, the middle lights went out. And it's a tree just from last year, that we bought last year. So I ended up going and getting another tree and it was the same tree from Michael's, the same pencil tree, because I love the tree. It's beautiful, and it kind of matches my big tree, because I have a great big cashmere tree in my living room, and I kind of wanted my trees to coordinate. I don't know why, but I had a flock tree for my craft room tree with all the beautiful pink ornaments on it. Well, as you can see, it's not set up yet. Oh, me too. I want a craft shed so bad. But I really, you know, I know if I asked my husband if we could do it, I know for a fact he would. The only reason I haven't pressed the issue is because this isn't our forever home. And I don't know if I want to, you know, do all that here or just wait a few more years. And then when we are in our forever home, you know, do it there. Anyway, back to the tree. Here I go again. A million stories. I had a flock tree here in my craft room. And when I got it out of the box, I don't know what happened to it in storage. I don't know if it was from, because our storage unit is not climate controlled, because it's mostly holiday decor. And it was a storage unit that my husband had before he even met me. So, you know, we've just kept it. Well, my flock tree, it looks like it's been run over by a dump truck, to be honest. It looks terrible. It's all matted together, and yeah, it's done. It's done. So I think the other tree that I bought, the other cashmere tree, is going to end up being put in here, and I'm going to have my husband either put some new lights on the middle, or I'll just string some lights, or see if he can fix the lights or something. I don't know. So then I'll have, I don't know. And I don't know if my tree's going to get set up in here this year or not, because I really need him to fix those lights for me before I set it up, and he doesn't get home until the week before Christmas, and we will be Christmas shopping, and he's building toy boxes for the grandbabies and all of that fun stuff. Are y'all done Christmas shopping? I'm not. I'm maybe a quarter. Yeah, maybe a quarter. I don't need to stain that or that, and I don't do the sides, and I'm not going to worry about the back right now. I will go back and finish the back later, and I usually just stain them. Yeah, I'll just stain that up later. So, here's my vision. My vision was to make this kind of rusty crusty. Make this bottom part rusty crusty. Or, I'm really liking it stained though. But I do know that I want this and this. Whoops, I do need to stain that. I do know I want either some texture or something. Like, I've got this vision in my head, but it's just not. I've got like 10 different visions in my head of how I want this. Because honestly, if you think about it, this is an ornament holder. And you really could make this a year-round thing. So, you know, I mean, you could have baby Jesus year-round. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. But you could just take the baby Jesus ornament off and put, you know, another holiday ornament of some kind on here. So, technically, this could be an everyday craft, is what I'm thinking. Okay, let me get this figured out. We're not going to make it super rusty. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give it, we're not going to go rusty. We're going to go, where is that? We're going to go with this. Ugh. We're going to give it some texture. All right, y'all. This is texture additive. It's just a little like fine sand. I've used this on here before, I think. I'm pretty sure we've used this on here before. I just got this on Amazon, and it just adds texture to your paint. And then over here, I'll show you something I was working on. You know those Santa busts that have been so popular? I was working on one of those last night for the shop that I I share a booth at with my mother-in-law. So in here is some Mod Podge and coffee bean paint. So it's kind of thickened up because I was lazy and didn't do anything with it and just left it in the bowl. But I'm going to use what is still good, and I'm adding it to that sand because there's not much left in there. I'll show you the Santa bust that I was doing before we get off of here, and maybe I'll let y'all look at my Christmas decor that I've got done. My house is kind of a mess though. Jamie, no, I can't find nothing. So I get upset because I can't find anything because I've got a mess. So then I clean, and then it's 10 times worse because I can't find anything. And my craft room is probably my biggest issue because I can walk out of here and just close the door, and then it's like whatever, and nobody comes in my craft room unless, you know, I invite them in. I mean, my husband will come in, but whatever, he sees it messy, whatever. So it's not like companies coming in my craft room. So I'll just shut the door and, you know, don't think about it. Well, the rest of my house I have to keep clean. Ooh, Tracy, that's a great idea. My husband and I both do Amazon wish lists for Christmas, but his are all boring. I really think I need to find him something like really fun and unique. Anyway, the rest of my house, you know, I have to keep pretty clean. It's just my OCD because I'm looking at it, so I see it and I've got to keep it clean. Hi, Rosebrook Cottage. But my craft room, it does get pretty dang messy. And since I've cleaned it and I've added more like those little cubby shelves, I'll show y'all. It's not perfectly clean because I've been running around like crazy today. So I'll show y'all when we get done. So I'm taking like a little stipple brush and my little sand mixture. And again, my little mixture is just that texture sand additive. And just any kind of chalk paint you want. I use coffee bean. And coffee bean and espresso are very similar in color. And I'm just kind of stippling it on here because I don't want to brush it because you're going to just brush off that texture. So you just want to kind of stipple it on there. Can you see that texture? Okay. So there's that one. Whoop, I need to move that out of my way or I'm going to end up sticking my brush in it. But yeah, I can't find anything, Jamie. Nothing. And honestly, did I really clean my craft room? No. Did I just buy more cubbies and just throw stuff in them? Yes. I mean, I did clean and organize some, but is it as good as it should be? And I told myself, that's an after you're not so busy problem. And I honestly I didn't have the time to clean out closets and cabinets and cupboards and garages and stuff. I've got so much to get done. I didn't have time for that, but I told myself you just need to take a couple days and get this done because I felt like everything was closing in on me. I had to just declutter, and I felt so much better after I did it, even though I'm not done, but I haven't been out in the garage really, so I don't see that. But when I go out there, you know, to get the chicken food or something, I'm like, oh gosh, you got to get this done. But I absolutely have to get it done this week or this weekend or before, not next week, but the week after, the week before Christmas. I absolutely have to get it done because my husband's building the grandbabies toy boxes, like keepsake type toy boxes that obviously they can use as a toy box, but you know, a well-built one that they can pass down to their kids if they wanted to type thing. That's what we're doing. And we're building them some little chairs. Because the little chair I had, they broke it when they were here on Thanksgiving. And it was an old chair that I hadn't finished redoing yet. Well, they were fighting over it. So we're going to build them some little chairs for them to keep here. Look at that texture. It's amazing. So I absolutely have to get all the stuff that I threw out in the garage. I have to get it done because we're going to be out there building when he's home. We got to do all that and shop too, because we're doing our Christmas on the 20th because he will be gone for Christmas. So, hi Jan, how are you? It's great texture. And honestly, like, you don't have to. See, I used the texture and the color that I wanted, but you can put the texture in, you could put it in just some Mod Podge if you wanted to. And put it on, you know, whatever, and then paint it or leave it, whatever you want to do. The texture can go in, you know, anything, paint, Mod Podge, whatever. So, but anyway, any good ideas on, you know, somebody who has everything? I mean, yeah, he's got tools on there, but I feel like the tools that he wants, except a couple, but the tools that he wants are tools that would be handy for both of us, honestly, you know, for like all of my woodworking stuff. So then that's, you know, not super fun for him. But there is a couple tools that I don't know what they are or what they do, and he wants them. So I don't know, he's probably just gonna end up with tools, and I always get him a new, you know, pocket thing, cutter thing, because he loves them. But it's not very fun that his birthday is so close to Christmas. I mean, for him, I know it's fun, but not for me, especially for somebody that is hard to buy for. But he spoils me all year, so I know I'm probably pretty hard to buy for. But I'm not afraid to tell him what I want, though. I'm not afraid to give him ideas. But we're both just at that stage in life where we don't need anything. Do we really want anything? I mean, anybody can think of things they want, but I don't know. We're just so spoiled. And you know, if you would have asked me 20 years ago if I would ever be complaining about being spoiled, I'd say no. And I'm not complaining whatsoever. I'm very, very blessed. It's more fun watching the kids and the grandkids and getting stuff for them than anything. Because it's so fun watching those grandbabies get all excited over things, different things. And then I've got another grandbaby coming in like a month. So exciting. Okay. Look at all that good texture. Now, after this dries, if we decided we wanted to change the color, we could. Let's see. I'm just going to let that set and dry for a minute. And we are going to clean off my hands. I've seen so many people using this, and I've had this for a long time, and it smells like spray paint or smells like rub and buff, and I actually like the smell, but it's the liquid leaf. You can get it at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, wherever. So I'm using this gold liquid leaf, and I will most likely wax this as well. So I've had this gold leaf for a long time, but I've never used it. I don't use a lot of gold except for Christmas time. And this stuff is strong, so I try to be quick about it. I like the smell. I'm weird like that. I'm one of them people that don't mind the smell of like gas and tires and spray paint and stuff like that. I don't mind the smell at all. I think it smells good, actually. Not like I'd want to wear it like perfume or anything, but the smell doesn't bother me at all. I'm a weirdo. And you know, like when my husband, when he gets home from work and he smells like work, because he works in the oil field, so he'll come home smelling like exhaust and gas and, you know, all that. Not so much anymore now that he's a supervisor, but love the smell. I know I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Jamie, it happens to all of us, and you never, ever, ever would have guessed that you felt like that. Never would have guessed. We all have our days. Not every day can be perfect, but we all adore you. Heck, you could come in and color a paper with some crayons and sit in silence, and we'd all still enjoy it. Okay, that is actually a really pretty gold. I've got my little heater on over here, so things are drying pretty fast. Okay, let's do Baby Jesus. Hope that comes off of my... Oh dear. Oh yeah, it's gonna come off. Maybe I shouldn't let it like sit on there though. I had Rub and Buff on my fingers the other day and it wouldn't come off. I had to get the Goo Gone. All right. What do we want to do here? The gift that forever changed the world. I love that so much. And we're going to use the Tuscan Sun for the color of our hay. And of course I'll wax it up. I think one coat is going to do that. And then we're going to use pine cone. I don't want it to be the same brown as this. So let's use some pine cone. See if that's better. Oh yeah, that's better. I do like that color that I just used, the Modern Rattan. It just wasn't the brown I was looking for. And with the etched words in here, if you use a sponge, some type of a makeup sponge, and you don't have the paint caked on it, you can go right over the top of those without getting paint down in there. And I'll load up my sponge and then I'll offload it just a tad. So I do have the oh my gosh, major brain fart. These things. Gift card holder ornaments. I'm gonna be doing a quick video on those. I'll probably work on that this weekend and the first part of the week. Okay, gonna let that dry. And let's figure out what color do we want to do his blanket. What color should we do his blanket? It's the Modern Rattan. It's a pretty color. A very pretty color. And I think for baby Jesus' face, I don't know, I kind of want to go with cozy beige. Is that crazy? Yeah, Modern Rattan's a good one, Jamie. Heck, I like them all. I like them all. I think I'm actually going to use a little bitty brush to do his little face. Okay, I am going to put some little pink cheeks just to give that some color. Let's put some Gustave on there and see then. Let's see if we like the lighter one. We can always paint over it. Sorry, I'm concentrating, staying in the lines.
if you see me pucker my lips like that, you know I'm really concentrating. I've been catching myself do that a lot lately. My dogs are being so quiet tonight. It's nice. They've been little terrors all day. Just playing. All right, let's see. Let's see, let's see. Okay. I'm actually not minding it. I do think I'm going to... No, I need that. Because I think I want to darken up these little nails. Ooh, I got a new little thing for my brushes. Look how cute it is. It's smaller than the one I had before, so maybe I won't let it fill up so much. Maybe I'll actually clean my brushes. All right, I'm just gonna take this black, why am I shaking? This black paint pen. I'm gonna do these little nail holes just to give it a little contrast. I could have done them gold too. Gold would have been pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna sand this just a little bit. Smooth it out. And before I put it on, I'm gonna wax around it just so I can get in those little nooks and crannies. And this, I'm just using my wax brush that has old wax on it from the last time I used it, which was earlier today. And I'm just darkening up the edges with my wax. And then I will go over the whole thing. And I think I am gonna have to use my heat tool. I tried to time this just right so I don't have to use it so much. But I kind of put that texture on there a little thick. And it's taken a bit for my pieces that I texturized, taken a bit for them to dry. Okay, got that done. And then I do the same to the stars real quick. Okay, this gold leaf isn't bad. It sands pretty cool. Just get the edges real quick. Sometimes on these smaller pieces, for me anyway, I find, and if they have, you know, like little crevices and stuff, I find for me that it's easier to wax them before I glue anything rather than later.
So see the difference in the waxing? I love it.
And you don't have to use wax. The ink will do the same effect. And I'm not all neat and perfect about it. I just get it on. But I don't want it to be neat, to be honest. So, y'all tell me, what was your favorite gift as a child? One that you can remember. It doesn't have to be just one, it can be a couple. Tell me what you remember as being one of your most memorable favorite gifts as a child. I'll tell you, one of mine was, and I had it forever and I don't know what's happened to it since. I would love to have it still though. Was this stuffed mouse named Gus, like off Cinderella, and he had on a little sweatshirt. He was one of my very favorites. And then one of my other favorites, which I know I don't have anymore, but wished I did, wished I had taken better care. I love horses, have always loved horses. And my mom and my brother surprised me on Christmas and had painted me this little brown horse. My brother helped my mom do it, and they hid it at my grandma's. They surprised me with this ceramic horse on Christmas. One of my favorite gifts. Oh, thank you, sweet Tiffany. I think we're gonna sand little baby Jesus just a little bit. I'm gonna sand a little, I need to rub a little bit more. And I'm really gonna darken up the edges on this one. Like really dark. And then I'm gonna lightly go over the whole thing. And then
Barbie's or purple bicycle.
I'm not necessarily doing just like a cheek. I'm just kind of adding just a little bit of blush all over the head, just to kind of pink it up just a little bit. And I think around the blanket, I'm gonna just do just a little bit of wax, just to kind of highlight it a little bit. I'm not gonna do around the face though. Okay. All right, I'm liking it, I'm liking it. Let me set those aside, and that aside. think we're pretty well done painting, but we're not done. We're not done. Let's see how close these are. They're close. Let me get them dry real quick. Loud noise alert. And I do, I don't know. I'm debating on whether I add, because we're not going to sand these because they're texturized. I don't think I didn't. Of course I didn't. It's all right, all right. Let me get my life together here. I'm going to fix this real quick. Give me just a second. If you would please. I did not do a very good job staining. And I realize I'm going to have to quickly stain the back of it also, because it'll be easier just to stain the back of it now than wait and do it after, because I'm going to be gluing a piece on the back here. At least I'm going to stain down here at the bottom. It'll be easier just to do it now than after. So bear with me for just a quick second. It only takes a second. Staining is quick. Now, I do, to be honest, staining wise, I prefer to use actual stain, but you have to let that dry. I mean, you've got to let this dry too, but stain isn't something that you can truly just dry with a heat tool. It honestly needs to really cure and dry on its own. So I only use real stain, like regular wood stain, when I can do it beforehand and let it dry. I mean, this is beautiful. Okay, I think I've got that done. Okay, let's see what it looks like and see what we think. And we are going to add some greenery to it. And this will be up here, like so. Can y'all see it? What do y'all think? What does it need? Your favorite color now is blue. You love purple. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie Lou. I think it's going to be pretty. I'm just wondering, do we need to add like some gold edging, or what does it need? I am going to start gluing. But what does it need? Thank you, Christina. I feel like it needs something. I don't know. I mean, I do like it, you know, the rustic and just kind of simple. And I think once we add some greenery, I think it's going to be, okay. And the greenery I'm going to add is going to be Christmassy. I've got some beautiful Real Touch pine over here I'm thinking of using. Or we could use, I've got all kinds of Christmas florals over here we can use. I'm loving this texture. You know I love me some texture. Y'all, my hubby, oh my goodness. Some of y'all have heard this, but not all of you, and it's kind of funny. It's actually really kind of funny. So, you know those nativity trees that I was working on for the shop that I sold like 65 of them dang things? I was working on the last of them, and I needed him to help me sand something. So he used my big old beefy sander to help me. And I was cutting something on my scroll saw, and I just happened to look up because I heard a sound, and he's just kind of standing there with this stunned look on his face. And the sound was like, because I heard, you know, something hit the ground. And so I look up, and he's just got this weird stunned look on his face. And then he goes like this and pulls his hand off and looks at it. And then I realize he's got some blood coming down from between his eyes. Well, he was sanding this block of wood, and it slipped out from his hands. And I have several sanders, but this is my big sander. Okay, thank you, Jamie. This is one of my big sanders, and that block of wood had hit him between the eyes, and at first it scared me because I didn't know how bad he was hurt or whatever, because that thing hasn't hit me with wood yet, but it's dangerous. Like, it really is. And then out of nowhere, like after I got him all situated and I knew he was okay and everything was fine, I could not stop laughing. I was laughing so hard, I was in tears. And I couldn't figure out why, but I think it was just the way the whole thing happened. That, you know, the look on his face just kept playing over and over and over in my head. And I just couldn't stop laughing. And I usually don't laugh when people get hurt. I guess, you know, all the years working in the emergency room and stuff. But something like that, I could not help it. And he was so lucky it wasn't worse. I'm lucky it wasn't worse. I would have felt horrible. He was helping me and got hurt, you know. But he just had like a little cut, and that was it. But I know that thing flings that wood hard. I would add a little clamp to hold this on here, but I don't want it to mess up my texture because it is still just a smidge, just a smidge wet. All right, let me get this other glued together, and then we're going to add greenery. I want to get this all glued together, and the greenery is going to be the last thing we do. And then we're going to be done. And y'all can go on about your Saturday. I hope y'all have had some time to just relax. And this time of year, though, it seems like nobody has time to relax. It's so busy. Miss Christina, I've still been loving your morning posts. I look forward to them every morning. And now I actually see where you put on there that it's, you know, from Pinterest or wherever. It's down at the very bottom under the hashtags that I never read. I never read hashtags. I don't know why. Okay. Do y'all want never mind. The thought just left my brain. It's called live brain. I'm just putting on this little center spacer so I can put some jute in between these two stars. Gonna get my little bit of hay glued on here. So did anybody else tell me something that they got for Christmas that was their most favorite when they were a child? Besides my lovely Jamie girl. Jamie's is the only one that I saw. Let me see. They can be scary. Kevin, you had a purple bicycle also? Aww. I had a yellow bicycle, mother. That's a story I'll tell y'all about. Yeah. I've never let my mom live this down. And she says, I don't remember that. But I remember my brother and I think it was my brother or my sister and a bunch of my cousins all had gotten new bikes. So like everybody around me was getting a new bike. And of course, I wanted a new bike. Well, did I get a new bike? No. What did my mom and one of my cousins do? My mom knew the guy that worked at the dump because she did home health on his wife. Oh, matching clothes. Oh, how fun. Lethea, I love that. Anyway, she knew the guy that worked at the local dump because she used to take care of his wife. You know, Mom, remember the guy that only had the one hand? He lived on Main Street in Coville, and you took care of his wife in home health? And he worked at the dump? Yeah, I remember. Anyway, my mom hates me to tell this story, and she'll say she doesn't remember. But, they went to the dump, and I wanted a banana bike with a basket. And I got a banana bike. They got this bike from the dump, and I was a spoiled little brat, clearly. They got this banana bike from the dump, painted it yellow. Don't know why they chose yellow, because I've always been a pink. Pink's always been my favorite color. And then, you know, they went to the store and bought a basket and put on it, and they put on little tassels and everything. I rode that bike and I loved it. Not at first. I didn't love it because it was yellow and it wasn't brand new like everybody else's. But it's a great story now, and I'll never forget that bike. And then I got a new bike not long after that. I was a spoiled, rotten kid. Clearly. Complaining about getting a bike from the dump. I'm not really complaining. At the time, I was not happy, but it didn't last long. At least I had a bike. At least I had a bike. Okay. Got my star on here. And I think I'm gonna do a knot. No, let's do that the other way, Mindy. You was too. I don't know why I wanted a banana bike so bad. I guess that's just because it was the thing to have. And then it was, you know, a mountain bike. And I got a mountain bike, a brand new mountain bike. I don't think it was for my birthday, because my birthday's in October. And it was like summer. So I think I got a mountain bike just because. And that's what I was afraid was going to happen. So I need to tie a knot here. Let's see if I can do it without taking that off the string. How far do I want it to come down is the thing. I'll get this figured out. Up a little bit up there. So what I did is I tied a knot underneath that star, and you can glue it if you want to. I just tied a knot. And then I'm just going to do a little slip knot type thing for the top. And that's going to be too long, I think. Yep. It is. So I need to do this lower. That's better. And then I can do, I've got my fingers are numb right now at the tips of them. I can't feel them. So I feel like I'm just got fat fingers. Oh my goodness, this jute is going to give me a fit. I'm going to cut this off, but I don't know that I'm going to leave it like that. I'll work with that in a bit. Let's get this on here and get the greenery on. And then a little tip for y'all. I'm sure you've been told before, but on things like this, if you don't glue it in the base, when you go to take it down at the end of the season, you can just pop it out. And what I do on my stuff like this that has, you know, something that needs to stay with it is I use the, it's like the saran wrap, but it's for moving the cellophane, or not cellophane, but the plastic wrap stuff. I use that and wrap them together. So I rarely glue my bases on, just so storage purposes, I can store them easier. But look how cute it's looking so far. Okay, looks really plain right now, I know. But, hear me out, hear me out. Take this and do like a little bundle of this. I need to grab my other greenery too. So we can do just plain greenery, or bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I'm still here, I'm just grabbing my other greenery. It's right here. Okay. Or we can do something like that. Or I kind of think if we did this little turntable thing that I got, I'll show y'all in a minute. I got a hair that's tickling me. This little turntable brush organizer tool caddy thing I got from Michael's. Seriously, the best. So I'm thinking, what if, oh, I think I like the, so do we like the flocked or the plain? I kind of like both. Flocked or plain? I'm kind of thinking the flocked. And maybe even do a little piece up here. Ooh. Yes, yes, yes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So, do a little bunch of it down there. And then I'm thinking a smaller bunch It is a hard choice, Jamie. I like both, honestly. I really do. I really like the flock, but I like the plain. I'm just kind of playing right now. I think I'm going to go... I wish I had this smaller, you know, like the size of the flocked. Or do I? No, I used it all. And I don't have my glue tool plugged in either. Luckily, it heats up pretty quick. Okay. It is a hard choice. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the flocked. And then I need some berries. And I think I'm going to use some of these little flocked berries. This little bushel thing I got from Pop Shelf. I don't know if y'all have a Pop Shelf near you or not. I might have to do some playing with that string to get that my little baby Jesus to sit straight. But I think I am liking it. I am liking it. Well, I'm waiting for my hot glue to heat up. I am going to add a little bit of wax. Around my handle. I'm not going to add it to the texture part. I'll probably go in with some dead flat to seal that texture. Well, to seal the whole thing. You can't go wrong with some dead flat. I wish I had... I'll show you one of the snowmen that I did, but I didn't use dead flat on it. But I have some snowmen that I've been making for the shop, and they've been flying off the shelf like crazy. Okay. Let's get this done so y'all can go enjoy your evening. I don't... You know, I think I'm going to go simpler. Yep, just simple. Just simple. I'm trying to... I do this all the time. Oh, it's gotta be blah, blah, blah. I just need to go simple. And I'm gluing it to the lantern and not to the base, because I will want to take the base off when I store it. So I'm gluing it to the actual lantern. And then I'm going to take some of these berries, snip them all. I love the little clusters that these have. They're like perfect. And if you need them smaller, you can break them up. If you need them bigger, you can add more to them. It's really quite nice. Let me see what I think of that. So just simple, but I think I need let's see. Nope, we're just going to stick with the 3. And then I think up here at the top, let me snip some more of these off. And we'll just add these 3 right here at the top with another little group of berries and call it good. Just simple. Because the star of the show is baby Jesus and the lantern itself. Okay. Kind of want it to the side. I don't know why I was gluing it the way I was. And then a little berry. I think it needs one more tiny thing of berries up there. I think. What do y'all think? Not gonna hurt my feelings. If you don't like it or I need to change something, tell me now. Tell me now. All right. Let's get it all put together. I will work with this string, the ornament, to get it laying on there a little better. But for now, and I will get pictures posted tomorrow, but I'll work on hanging him a little bit better. I'm not going to waste y'all's time with me moving or with me messing around with that, but I do think it turned out pretty cute. It's just kind of simple and different, and he needs to hang up just a little higher and a little straighter, and I think that would be perfect. But y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much for your love and support. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see y'all very, very soon. Bye, guys.